Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Today we're doing a Matador 101 for project managers. Today we're going to be doing a look at one of the new project creation features that we've added, as well as focus quite a bit on budgets. How to create a budget, how to add costs, how to pull out accrual reports from the system, as well as we're going to use the Deltek integration that we have just to kind of quickly showcase what it looks like to have your accounting system integrated into the software, and the ability to pull over internal budgets into Matador. I'm going to pass things over to Victor, who will get us started.
Hello, everyone. So let's start with how to create projects. When you click on Create New in your project from up, we redesigned how this works. Previously, it allowed you to create only one project at a time, but now when you click here, you can create multiple projects at once. Once you're done, you can click on the mark, and you have the ability to edit these projects, give it a name individually to each one of them. But we also accept the same as before. You can search a location by a coordinate. You can use addresses, UWIs, LSDs, all that still works. So the idea is we are going to allow you to create multiple projects at once instead of doing it one at a time. Um, and you can edit the names of the projects at any moment. If you don't do any edits, it will be the condition that we use to identify them, which it will be how you search, or if you click on the map, it will be by indexing a number. The next thing is you click on next. At this point, what we decided to do is now you're gonna have the ability to choose a template, and that's it. You will have to create first a project, and then you will fill out the remaining information. This is to speed up things, make it simple and clean, and allow you to create multiple projects at once. Let me know if you have any questions about the new create project. Um, card. The next thing I'm gonna show you, it's about the budgets. So, how to create budgets, how to create costs. The first thing that you will notice in your budget is that when you come here, by default, we're filtering to projects that are in status active and pending. We will give you a calculation based on the existing project that you're looking at. For example, your total budget is a combination of these two. But then you subtract these, you can see also the ones that are closed. By default, we just hide those, but you can always have the option to see them, and these will be recalculated. So when you access a budget, let me create one. You get here at budget, we have two options. Depending if you are using, if there is any integration in your workspace, in this case, we have Deltek, but for now, I'm gonna use the default budget. When you click here, you will see the option. The only things that we require is a name. And status, active, closed, or pending. If you want to add cost to this, it has to be active. We don't allow you to add cost if it's closed or pending, just to keep it consistent. And any of those fields, you can substitute, they're optional. Here's the client. The other thing that you need to consider is when adding a budget, we use the cost codes to calculate what will be your budget amount. So instead of adding an amount for your total budget, it will be the sum of your different budget, cost codes. If I click here, you will see a new budget added. This is the amount. We have not spent anything yet, so let's add a cost to this. To add a cost, there are two ways that you can do it. You can click here, or you can go into the cost tab and you can add a cost. So when you add a cost, the first thing is that you will have the option to choose from which budget inside this project you're gonna allocate your cost to. So if I select, for example, budget demo, you will see the codes that are associated to budget demo. But if I were to select Matidor December, if it has different codes, you will see a different list. So that's the idea with Matidor. And then you just fill out the information and you will have your codes added into the system. Now, let's say you want to see this information, you want to export it to some clients. What you can do is you can click on your budget, and then on the upper right side, you will see three dots, and you see the option to either export the budget or export the cost. So let's do export budget. You select your range of dates, and if you want to include your comments, and you just click on export. Let's wait a little bit. And let me can you see it? Am I displaying it, Patrick? Can you see it?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, perfect. So this is the budget export. Basically, it gives you your project detail information, then your budget details, and you can see the cost codes and your total budget, how much the accumulated cost, and the remaining, as well as any comment given to the project. But let's say you want a little bit more detail. So you want to see how much has been spent in each cost. So that's why we have the export cost. When you click on this one, you once again, you select your range, and then you decide you want to add the comments here. The difference that you will notice is that now it comes with the ID for each cost code, how much has been spent, and under which cost code, and any other information that you have inside this particular cost code, like the vendor ticket, invoice, and any notes specific to it. So those are the two exports that we allow. And what's this? Coming back to this. Your budgets and your costs can be expanded to a table view if you want to see more information. To do that, just click on this arrow on the upper right side, and you will see this is the default view by Matidor, but you can customize it. You can add your own columns to see something more to your liking. For example, I already created a view. So if I click on views, called view, if you see the structure, the columns that we are displaying is different. This might be more aligned to what you're looking for. How do you create this kind of views? To do that, let me remove this view. This is the default view. You can click on the engine on the upper right side. And here we're gonna list all the columns that you're looking at the moment. You can click on add columns, and then you will see here for cost, these are the system columns that we have. You can add them here. You can rearrange this. You can choose the order in a different way. You want the ticket number. And we have also customs. So if you create any custom fields, that will be displayed here. For project, any field that you have at project summary level, it can be added as well. And any field that you have at your budget level, it can be added here as well, like the AFI number, let's say. So once you add this, you can save it, and you can see the new structure. And you can save it as a view. So the next time that you come back, you can reuse it. So all you have to do is click on default view, save, and give your name. Close you do. And that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. Like you can do the same for your budgets, costs, anywhere in Matidor. So this will give you more flexibility and easier view. Any questions so far? Okay. The next thing I'm gonna show you, it's about the integration with Deltek, it's one of the financial services that we have. How it works, it's when you click on Add, if there is any integration in Matidor, you will see it here. Other than our default view, you will see Deltek. How do you know there is an integration in your workspace? You will click Settings, integrations, and here you will see which one we have it connected. In this case, we do have Deltek. So I come back to my project. When I click at Deltek, here it's a little different. So we need the ID that comes from Deltek to determine which one we're gonna add into the system. You will see the entire list of budgets from Deltek, but you can also search for a specific one, let's say. And if there are any sub-levels to it, you can select all of them. And then use in this case, we're gonna add 5 budgets from Deltek, and you can start choosing what will be the scope, for example, client, Matidor, this kind of information. And when you click on, and maybe a budget to the cost code, so actually they don't need a cost because it will come from Deltek. I'm just gonna save this. So you will notice something important. We differentiate between the budgets that come from Matidor and the ones that come from integration services. This one, for example, specifically says they're from Deltek. That's how you know. And you will notice that they already have information populated on them. So if you click on any of them, we will let you know when was the last time that we synchronize the data that came from the integration services, in this case, Deltek, and you can trigger it again if you see it's not the latest ones. If not, every night we do a sync, so we pull the latest information, so it's always up to date. And if you see the cost codes, we're pulling whatever is already integrated. So that is defined when we are planning to do an integration. We will have a meeting, we will discuss, and that's where we define how and what we're pulling from your integration services. Another thing that you can see is the naming. If there are different levels, the idea is, let's say if your integration has level 1, 2, and 3, we'll put the deepest one, so it's always easy to identify which one we're pulling from. So, and then once again, you can expand this into table view, and I didn't create a view, but yeah. And this can be exported to Excel if you want as well. Uh, any questions? I think that covers everything.
We do have a question in the chat, which, yeah, please, anybody feel free to ask questions through the chat. But when exporting the costs, is there a way to manage the column spacing?
Yeah, okay. Export. Not at the moment. I see, like, for example, as we do it for the project, right? Like, Um, that's a good idea. I'm gonna add a ticket for that. No, at this moment, we are just bringing all the columns that are populated inside either your cost or your budgets. Um, but I can add a ticket so we can allow you to choose which particular columns to export. Any other questions?
Also in the chat, please feel free to let us know if there's any features that you'd like to see a showcase for our next 101 webinar session as well. We'd like to take the feedback and make sure that we're putting out content that everyone's interested in seeing. So happy to kind of dig into any of the features that anyone wants to see as well.
Okay, I think there are no more questions.
Sounds like that might be it.
Hey, Anthony here. I
Yeah.
got one. I was just about to start typing. Maybe for a future webinar is doing the um, creating drawings or importing stuff like shape files or KMX files, whatnot, right?
Okay. That's a great one.
Because sometimes they don't always work.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll work on that one for our next release, and we'll do one of these again in December, and we'll include drawings and importing files, and we may even have some updates to the map features then as well. We're working on a few things for the mapping features as well on our roadmap, so it would be good timing to showcase some of those changes. Perfect. Um, well, we appreciate everybody jumping on, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Let us know if you'd like a copy of this as well for your own reference as it's been recorded. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
would like